First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, a great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect and the sincere Akiyam, pushing his word, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. I'm your brother Mayim, coming to you with another lesson. What we see here is a picture of a guy named, a cartoon named Rich. His character's name is Richie Rich, right? So this what came to my spirit while I was at work, basically contemplating on what treasure is important and what treasure isn't important. And the treasure that Richie Rich has in his hand is basically magic money. It's fiat currency based out of thin air, which loses value as time goes by. And this is what the world marvels at, you know. But the scriptures speak against laying up treasures upon earth where moth and rust doeth corrupt. Let me get it real quick. Matthew 6 verse 19. It say, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal, nor steal. It said, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So we're not worrying about the riches of this world. Because I've never seen a person going to the grave in a casket carrying riches. Everything that you strive for in this life as pertain to money, you can't transition it to the kingdom, man. You can't transition none of the world's wealth into the kingdom. But since we live in a society where it's basically based on capital, and you know they say when the man without you ain't got no money, you ain't got no honey. Meaning, if you don't have no money, you're not gonna be able to get a woman. So basically, Jake could do any and everything in his power to attain worldly riches, but none of that is going to help you in the day of trouble, man. You get the richest profit, nothing in the day of wrath. Let me get that. Bear with me for 1 second. It says Proverbs 11 verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. You're not going to be able to cash out a chariot and negotiate with the Lord with that bag. See how he looking? See how this picture looking? He got one hand full of fiat currency, and the other in his bag he got the rest of it inside the bag. And he's basically took a little pinch off the top and trying to bribe a chariot or bribe an angel to get on. That's not going to happen. That money that you're attaining in this world is not going to transition to the next world. Let me get another precept. Psalms the 49th chapter is a good one too. Psalms 49 and 6. It says, they that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give the Heavenly Father a ransom for him. So it's worthless. All your riches in this world that you attain, working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, is all worthless when it's time to stand before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. And none of us know when we're going to leave here. We're not promised tomorrow. You know what I mean? I could pass away 5 minutes from now. So what is this world? What is this worldly money really good for? Why do we spend so much time laboring for this money? You see? It was really worthless. We all programmed to believe that the money is everything. Us men of the Lord, only thing we concerned about is 3 hots and a cot, man. Sure, we got jobs. Sure, we got jobs. We have to have jobs. It said, if you don't work, you don't eat. The scriptures also talk about whatever you do, you put forth your hands to the plow real hard. So a large percentage of the brothers here at GMS, it's required that we work, but we don't focus all on riches. The riches that we focus on is laboring for this truth, man. Why? Because the Lord is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. This is what the money is. Let me get that real quick. It says Hebrews 6 and 10. It says, for the Heavenly Father is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. Everything that you do in this truth pertaining to putting forth your hands to this plow, you're going to get rewarded for it. It's not like in this world. You get money, you put it in the bank, and they make money off of your money. And if you want to go make a large withdrawal from your money out of the bank, you have to give them a few days notice just to take your money back. So the Lord is not like that. The Lord don't operate off of fiat currency. See, they said the scriptures talk about, for the Heavenly Father is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed towards his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. So the work that the men of the Lord are doing, we're going to be rewarded. You see? Because the scriptures speak about the glory that should be revealed. Let me get that real quick. Because the bag that the Lord is coming with is innumerable. It says, there's one in Romans and there's one in 1 Peter. They both good, but I think I'm gonna read the one in in Romans. Romans 8 verse 18. It says, I'm gonna start at 17. And if children's, then heirs of the Heavenly Father, and joint heirs with Hamashiach. Now we know that when Hamashiach returned, they said on his head was many crowns, meaning that he's going to topple all these kingdoms coming. And what's going to happen after that? They're going to have to bring their wealth. When you read Isaiah 60 and 60, the 60th chapter, they talk about the nations, the gates are going to be open day nor night. I mean, the gates will be open day and night so the nations can bring their wealth. It says forces in that verse, and forces translates to wealth. So on his head will be many crowns, and with those crowns comes with wealth. And being as though we joint heirs, the Lord is going to share that wealth with us. It says, I'm going to read 17 again. And if children, then heirs of the Heavenly Father, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. Because pushing his word, you suffer. You become an enemy to the world. Nobody like you, no matter where you go, no matter how nice you are to these people, there's a different spirit on you, and demons going to hop on those people that basically try to treat you like you garbage. So, of course, the men of the Lord are suffering here. The scriptures talk about through much tribulation shall we enter to the kingdom. The scriptures talk about the saints that are worn out. So, of course, we're going to suffer. But this suffering comes with a reward. Why? It says, verse 18, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us, man. You see? So we waiting for the righteous bag that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is coming to divvy out to his men. And one of the ways he's going to divvy out his spoils is giving us new bodies, man. Incorruptible, immortal bodies. So that's the wealth that we should be focused on, doing this work. So when Yahweh Bashim Yahushua return, he could give us those new bodies and share his wealth with us. And being able to live forever without being sick. Why wouldn't you want to labor for that kind of profit? But only the elect, you say the election have obtained it, and the rest were blind. 2/3 of our people don't have faith. So when they hear these scriptures, they can't relate to it. So we're not worrying about the riches of this world. We're not worrying about Esau's fiat currency. It's basically about the transition to the digital. And the only way you're gonna be able to make some money here is if you let them prick your skin. And you know the elect is not going for that, man. You know what I mean? We not bowing to his system the same way we didn't bow when we was in Babylon. Because the wise men, Jack, Meshach, and Abednego, they didn't bow to the statue, and this men that's inside this Babylon, this revised Roman Empire, is not going to bow to this image and let this man prick us. You see? So I hope this lesson was edifying. Till the next time, Shalom.